Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome all 2026 World Power Volume City Volleyball World Championships. Match number 4 is about two tournaments between Italian and Team France. 女士们、先生们，欢迎前来观看2026年坐式排球世界锦标赛。下面举行的是第4场由意大利队对法国队的比赛。 Please rise for the national anthem of France. 全体起立，奏法国国歌。 Now, the national anthem of Italian. 现在，请奏意大利国歌。 Now
One more time, good morning and welcome to Hangzhou for the 2026 Sitting Volleyball World Championships. This is game number 2 on this court number 1. We are in the Pool D of the women's tournament with a clash between Italy and France, two European teams that know each other perfectly. They played a lot against each other, talking about European Championships, the different silver, golden leagues in Europe, but also the Paralympic Games in Paris. Both teams were there. They also had an encounter during the World Super 6 in 2024. This was in France, in Nancy. Well, let's talk about these two teams. Italy is a very strong side, currently ranked number 4 in the world. European champions for 2 times in a row, 2023, 2025. Last summer was in Győr, Hungary, that they secured the title. France is just an emerging nation in sitting volleyball. They started to develop the game quite late in 2017. They got super lucky to get a wild card to play the Paralympic Games at home in 2024. And they're improving year after year. Currently ranked number 12 in the world. They got a spot in that competition here in China because of their world ranking. It's the first time they are playing these world championships. Of course they will lack of experience against such a strong Italian side, who will play for the first time for a long time without their traditional captain Francesca Bosio. She just got mom for the first time last April. She will join the team again for the next competition. But Sara Cirelli got promoted captain, and if Francesca is watching back home, of course, a very warm hello from China. Huge congratulations for a new milestone in your private life, and we'll be super happy to see you again for the next international competitions. I just mentioned Sara Cirelli, who got elected best blocker in the World Cup last year in Fort Wayne. She's maybe one of the best blocker in the world, but she's playing alongside a girl who is maybe one of the best setter in the world, Giulia Belandi. They are used to play together because they also play together when it comes to club competitions with Dream Volley Pisa. You add to that team Silvia Biasi, one of the best libero of the world. So Italy is for sure looking to do better than what they did in the previous World Championship in Sarajevo, where they finished 5th. They achieved for the first time an international medal in Fort Wayne, securing bronze at the World Cup. It will be a very strong side. Introduction of the 2 referees, international referees for that game. Neil Konovalik and Spela Plechnik will be the 2 official referees of that game. And it's time to meet with the starting 6.
Number 2, Atu.
For France, the captain, Jenna Agbojan-Prince. Cécile Adu, number 2.
Number 18, Jasha.
Anaïs Rigal, number 8.
Number 15, Maker. Number 11, Shidini.
Aurélie Garcia, number 12. Karen Femali-Measure, number 15. Navir Roma Icutini. And the libero, Julie Lignier.
Team Italian, captain number 7, Sara.
No surprise, Sara Cirelli is on court to start the competition. Giulia Belandi, number 1.
Number 4, Pay the Lady.
Roberta Pedrelli, the number 4.
Number 6, Cecatelli.
Eva Cecatelli, a lot of experience. She's also the head coach of Dream Volley Pisa when it comes to club competition. Raffaella Battaglia, Anna Cecon, and Silvia Biasi, the libero. A very strong Italian side. Well, absolutely no pressure. I could discuss just before the game with Pasquale Daniello, the head coach of that team. No pressure. They want to do better as what they achieved in Sarajevo in 2022, where they finished 5th. Since then, they improved a lot in terms of sitting volleyball. And of course, they can be one of the team looking forward to play the very good games, the medal games at the end of next week. Let's see what they can do in their opening game. Italy's favorite of that clash against France in the Pool D, a pool as well featuring Thailand and Brazil, the defending champion in the World Championships. They got the gold medal in Sarajevo in 2022. They will be entering the competition at 2:30 local time on court number 3, Brazil against Thailand, second clash of that Pool D. But let's focus on that game between France and Italy. I know it's super early back in France and Italy. If you just woke up 5 in the morning, but it's a good reason if you want to support your favorite team. Giulia Belandi ready for the first serve of that game. Italy-France is underway. And the first point for Italy. No solutions found by France on that reception. That time the reception from Aurélie Garcia a bit too long. Again, the reception is struggling. Karen Femali-Mejer could take it, but it was a bit too low for Cécile Adu to have a proper set. And the first 3 points of that game are for Italy. And we directly have a timeout call for France by the head coach Johan Escala, who was already the head coach at Paralympic Games in 2024. Italy decided to change after the last Paralympic Games, where Amaury Ribeiro was the head coach. Since then, we have Pasquale Daniello. He led the team in Győr for the European Championships last summer. So did he for the World Cup in Fort Wayne at the end of last year. But again, that Italian side has a lot of experience. A lot of players are also playing together in club competitions. Most of them are in Dream Volley Pisa. We also have 4 players who are playing for Polisportiva Gioco Parma. But they are just so used to play together. Most of them were in the squad that traveled to Paris for 2 years. Only Asia Sarziamari and Anna Chekon got added to that roster, replacing Francesca Bosio that we mentioned, who is on baby leave now. And we also had Elisa Spediacci and Giulia Aringhieri, part of the team in Paris. Good serve on Sara Cirelli. This ball will not come back. That's a lifting call against Raffaella Battaglia. Well, that was a good serve from Cécile Adu. From 1 to 5. She will go against to position 1. Will it be the same target? The answer is yes. Good reception from Cirelli. Good fight at the net. And the point is for Italy. Aurélie Garcia deep, but good cover by Biazzi. But no one wanted to get the next touch. Cirelli tried it with the foot, but Giulia Belandi, the setter, did not go to play that ball. And that's a 3rd point for France. 3 to 4. Navia Roma Hicutini, the next one to serve for France, playing in white this morning. Is it a good one? Yes, it's an ace. No one covering there. Neither Ceccatelli nor Pedrelli. A short one just behind the net. Well played, Hikutini. And directly, Pedrelli moving a bit forward to cover that area now. Hikutini decided to go deeper in the court. Too long that time. 5 for Italy. 4 for France. You have the scoreboard just updated now. Great serve, Ceccatelli. And Hikutini did not make a clear choice between taking the reception or leaving the ball. Just out. Well, I mentioned the experience of Ceccatelli that we met earlier this year in Lyon, France. That was for the club's European Cup. Well, she was wearing the jersey on the bench, but most of the time she was focusing on her head coach role. Great understanding of the game. And she actually didn't need to come on court too often. Dream Volley Pisa could secure the title. I wouldn't say easily, but they defeated Nola, another Italian side, in the final, with Ceccatelli as a head coach. Jenagmo Jean-Prince. That serve is just a bit too long for the French captain. And Italy again in front, 7 points to 6. Anaïs Régal for Karen Femali-Méger. Is there any touch by the block? The answer is no. Just out. Point for Italy. And the first timeout of Ioannis Scala worked pretty good because France could come back, but again, Italy is able to create a gap. And that time, Karen Femali-Méger can finish the job to score the 7th point for France, 7-9. Good serve by Regal. Pedro is struggling, but this ball will come back. Miscommunication between Garcia and Adu on who takes that ball. Battaglia. The ball stays on the French side. Not enough effort by Cécile Adu to put it on the other side. She was well positioned. The ball could land on the French side. Easy ball for Anna Cecon, one of the players of Gioco Parma. And with the gap increasing again, there's a 5-point lead for Italy. It's already the second timeout called by France and Ioannis Scala. Well, we've been following France for a very long time, and he's quite used to take his timeout quite early in the set when things are not going as planned. And with 12-7 for Italy, he already used his 2 timeouts. Some adjustment as well for Italy with Pasquale Daniello. Giving some advices to his players. Well, they want to enter well in that competition, Tomorrow, Italy will have a very interesting game against Brazil, defending champion in that World Championship. They also secured silver in the World Cup last year in Fort Wayne. That Brazilian side that finished fourth in the Paralympic Games in Paris, losing the bronze medal game to Canada, which was, I would say, quite a surprise for all of us. Not for Nicole Band, the Canadian coach, because she knew that her girls were able to secure bronze. But I got super lucky to be there in Paris for 2 years, and we were quite sure that Brazil will be able to secure the bronze medal, as they did in the World Super 6 a few weeks earlier in 2024. But what a great performance Canada had that day. So we'll see if Brazil is a medal contender here this year in Hangzhou. This will be the second game for Italy. And Brazil will enter the competition today against Thailand, taking part for the very first time in the World Championships of sitting volleyball. Well, that second timeout did not help really, since Italy is increasing the gap 16-7, 16-8 now with that block on the serve. But it's already now an 8-point difference between the two teams. Aurélie Garcia from position 5. Chirelli from the back row. Good block from Karen Femali-Méger. Well, France was celebrating even if the ball was not on the floor yet. Well read from Femali-Méger on that back row swing from Chirelli. Biasi for the reception. Belandi the back set for a check on. Touched by Garcia. Well, she was on the trajectory of that ball, but no chance to control the ball. And here comes the first substitution for France, with Aurélie Garcia out and Céline Twillin coming in. A little taste of Brittany because Garcia is playing for Lannion, Twillin for CPB Rennes. That's the northwest part of France. And I think Twillin is having her very first appearance for France. She just joined the team recently. Had some volleyball earlier in her career, but she just started to play sitting volleyball. And that point to be played again after a good fight at the net between Belandi and Adu. Touched by the block. Just below the net level. Well, just look at my notes, and Céline Twillin partied yesterday for her birthday. She turned 29 here in China. I'm not sure it was a huge party before entering the World Championships, but it was the D-Day for her. And the 10th point for France in that first set, 10-19. Karen Femali-Méger on Sarah Chirelli. Belandi for the set. Free ball France. And again, miscommunication between Adu and Rigal. Rigal was moving forwards, Adu was moving backwards, and finally no one took a proper ball contact. 20 for Italy, 10 for France. Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince through the middle. That's the first good connection between Adou and Agbo-Jean-Prince for France. We just saw Cirelli and Ceccatelli discussing on what to do on the reception, because we saw Cécile scoring an ace in the first rotation. And again, she moves to position 1 after the whistle. On Cirelli, good reception. And then her contact was not the good one, but Belandi looks disappointed with the quality of her set. Well, we are used to a lot better quality with Giulia Belandi. She proved it many, many times that she is such a good setter. Huge mistake on that serve. The ball launching in the air was not quite the one that Cécile expected. And substitution for France with Estelle Galland coming in for Cécile Adou. Roberta Pedrelli with the serve. Anaïs Régal a bit moving backwards, Hikutini when hitting the ball. I mean, the set was okay from Anaïs Régal, but Hikutini was maybe not positioned early enough to have a proper swing. And this is point number 22 for Italy in that first set. Point number 23 is an ace for Pedrelli. Célène Tuelin struggling in reception on that serve. This is the first set point for Italy. 24-12. Again, on Tuelin, she is the clear target. And Italy secures the first set. 25-12. Well, not a lot to say. Johannes Kalla used quite early his 2 timeouts in that first set. And after the second one, Italy was able to build a big enough gap to secure the first set. 25-12. Not a surprise, Italy is favorite in that game. Let's see how France can adjust to do better in the second one. Johannes Kalla discussing with his players what to focus on to do better in the second set. And it's for me the opportunity to talk about today's schedule on court number 1. After that game, we will switch to the men's tournament with the game between Brazil and Iraq. We'll then have Kazakhstan against Croatia, still in the men's tournament. China against Thailand, again, men's tournament. And we will conclude the day with a game of the women's tournament, China against Kenya. A lot of action for this day one. 6 games on that court number 1. Let's see if France can do better in that second set. Let's see if Italy is able to carry on at the same pace. 25-12, that's the score of the first one for Italy. Well, already some substitution on the Italian side with Asia Sarziamade, number 13, starting this one. She will replace the captain, Sara Chiarelli. And on the French side, we will start with Estelle Galland, who came in the first one. And she is replacing Cécile Adou. Estelle Galland will be the first one with the serve. The reception was perfect, the set from Belandi as well. But Cecatelli couldn't quite make it into the court. First point for France. Good serve. Cecatelli, her second chance is the good one. 1-0. And great reception for the newcomer Asia Sarziamade. One of the young talent of that Italian side, 25 years old. And she's classified VSU, same as Sara Chiarelli, which means both of them cannot be on court at the same time. But we mentioned it in the first game between Iran and Rwanda. It's important to have everyone involved at the very beginning of the tournament because it's a long journey to go till the end. We are still in the pool stage, only the very first game. They have 3 pool stage games before going to the knockout phase. All teams will qualify for the round of 16, so it will be a very long journey. Double touch called against Aurélie Garcia on the dig. 3-1 Italy. Pedrelli. What a great area found between Garcia and Femali Meger. Nicotini for the set. Agbodjan Prince finds the hand of Asia Sarzi Amade. There was a clear touch, no doubt. We could see the trajectory of the ball changing. And the French bench sending some energy on court. We don't have a lot of French fans who traveled all the way here to Hangzhou, and they don't have the men's team in that tournament, which was the case in the Paralympic Games. Both French teams were part of the Paralympic Games at home. (5-2) for Italy. Cecatelli. High ball. Belandi a lot of time to get that set to Sarziamade. Oh, the ball is alive. Looks like a miracle for France, but this ball is in. misjudged by Estelle Galland and Karen Femali-Méger. Oh, they got some lucky dig and cover in that point. Ceccatelli on Hikutini. Anaïs Rigal digged by Ceccatelli. And as I said, Estelle Galland from the back row. She cannot spike. But Ceccon does a great job at the block in front of Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince. Oh, and there is some challenge called by France for net fault. Yeah, because you not only have to request the challenge, but also, of course, to show clearly what you are requesting. And net fault is one of the challenge you can request. Well, we did not see the result on the big screen. Apparently, it's an unsuccessful challenge. Yeah, we just saw the replay on the big screen. You don't have it on the live stream, so I will do some radio commentating when it comes to video challenge. Yeah, we still see the replay. Clearly, there was no touch by Ceccon on that video challenge. Ceccatelli, reception for Femali-Méger, high ball. And the point for Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince. A third point for France in that second set, but still a 7-3 lead for Italy. That's a huge mistake by Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince on the serve. Currently playing for the club of Charenton in the Great Paris Arena. Touched by the block. Ace for Italy, Asia Sarzi-Amade. And timeout called by Johan Escala. It took him a bit more time to call it, but with a 6-point deficit, it's not the time for the French head coach to gather his players. And for the moment, for Italy, things go perfectly well, even if one of their best players is on the bench. Sara Cirelli can rest a bit, and this gives some playing time for Asia Sarzi-Amade, with the number 13 waiting for the ball, because she will be the next one to serve after that timeout. And actually, she's doing very good in that second set. This is also some interesting information. Italy has options on the bench, and for sure this will be useful throughout the tournament. Touched by Cutini. The serve looked to be a bit long, but she decided to touch it at the very last moment. Strong one, just a bit too long. She took a bit less risk just after the timeout. Anaïs Rigal, French setter. Battaglia digged by Agbo-Jean-Prince. The ball is a bit too low, but Gallon can fight to bring it back. Check on. And good blocking effort by Garcia. Belandi had to catch it. And Anaïs Rigal completely misses that serve. Battaglia, the reception comes directly back on the Italian side, but they can manage it. Agbo-Jean-Prince from the back row. It's just too low. Not even sure the Italian block could touch that ball. Probably did not get over the net level. 12 for Italy, 5 for France. Again, difficult reception for Hikutini. Well, she's a clear target. Second timeout called by France. 13-5. You can see the staff of that French side. Johan Escala. Kneeling on the ground is Morgane Detier, the assistant coach. And you also have Sabrina Brassard, the physio of that team, led by the team manager, Christelle Bernoux, who is sitting there with the statisticians. Well, it's a difficult challenge for France to enter that World Championship against Italy. They will play tomorrow against Thailand. Maybe a game that could look easier, especially if France want to secure a place in the top 8 of that competition. That's the clear target that they announced. They want to be between place 5 and 8 to get a chance then to play the qualifier for the next Paralympic Games. This is their absolute dream, to travel to Los Angeles in 2028. And catch called against France. Substitution to come for France.
Substitution by Team France. Number 11 out, number 10 in.
Linda Medjaheri for Navi Roma Hikutini. Hikutini struggling with reception. Let's see if Linda Medjaheri can do better. She was part of the team playing in Paris 2024. Experienced player of that French side. And she is the target of Battaglia. Not enough control for Medjaheri on her first ball touch of the World Championships. Again, that time it was on her left side, close to the line. She will adapt, she will move a bit more towards the line to cover the area. Well, this gives an option maybe for Battaglia to change a bit the target, which she does. And Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince, oh, the ball is coming back, but what a struggle for France to get a proper first contact. Sarzia Mare, chest out. Well, Pasquale Daniello, I don't know why he's requesting something. Well, clearly the ball was out just in front of me, that line, but maybe some other request on some catch earlier in the rally. Anyway, It's still a 10 points lead for Italy, 16-6. Pedrelli with the conclusion. Substitution to come, both for France and Italy.
Number 6 on, number 10 in.
Saraceni is in for Italy, for Eva Cecatelli. And the same substitution we saw in the first set for France, with Célène Twillin coming in for Aurélie Garcia.
Number 12 out, number 3 in.
We have the new players on court. The electronic device is ready. The next serve for Anna Chekon. Oh, just out. Well, Twellin was not covering the line. Dessini for her first point. This is point number 18 for Italy. Sara Dessini also playing for Gioco Parma. Very experienced player from that Italian roster. Belandi and Femali Meger. Agbo Prince, was there any touch? The answer is no. Sargia Mare directly said, no, I did not touch the ball. No challenge for France. Estelle Galland. Great block by Sargia Mare. But she's doing more than a good job coming in for Sara Cirelli. Another great block from Italy. Belandi taking the contact. Pedrelli, free ball France. Estelle Galland, Linda Megeri. This point to be played again. But a very strong display from Asia Sargia Mare at the net. Great blocking skills. An ace for Belandi between Twellin and Femali Meger. (21 for Italy, 7 for France. Too long, Sargia Mare blocked by Agbo Prince. Biasi to cover. Estelle Galland pushing it deep towards Silvia Biasi. And the Italian libero is disappointed because she knows she can do better on that one. It's point number 8 for France in that second set. They reached 12 in the first one. Let's see if they can do at least the same, if not better. But not on that serve of Estelle Galland. It's just too risky to aim to that target. Well, at some point France has to take some risk when it comes to the serve, because the reception of Italy is just so good for the moment. Linda Megeri, the pancake for Biasi. Swing for Sargia Mare. Just too good. And the 23rd point for Italy, and that second one, Roberta Pedrelli. Not enough quality and height in that reception. This is the first set point for Italy in the second one. Again, on Pedrelli's serve. The point for France. The ball stays on the Italian side, despite the work from Sargia Mare. And Garcia will come in the front row for Céline Tuelin.
Number 3 on, number 12 in.
Linda Meggiari, still set point Italy. Easy reception, Silvia Biasi. Tessini, good cover, Battaglia. And she can carry on with the swing, a soft one into the French block, but that's enough to score a 25th point, 25-9 for Italy in that second one. Italy leads 2-0. Well, Italy leads 2-0 in that game, their opening game in the World Championships, and they even had a stronger display in the second one without Cirelli. Well, let's mention one more time how good Asia Sarziamale did. These are some good decisions for a head coach if he has to choose between two very good players. Let's see what he will put as a starting 6 on court for set number 3. Cirelli is warming up. And of course, well, we mentioned she's one of the best blocker in the world, but also a very good server. She got elected MVP of the European Championships last summer in Győr, Hungary. And that was a well-deserved award. Serving well, blocking well, also able to spike very good. Both from the middle and from the back row. She is definitely a key player for that Italian side. But she has now some pressure with Sarziamale. Well, I'm not quite sure if she's warming up or testing her shoulder. Because Sarziamale will be the one starting set number 3. Same as Sara Dessini. Otherwise, we will keep the same players. Ceccatelli starts on the bench. Cirelli starts on the bench. Captain for Italy on court is Giulia Belandi. For France, they will start with Linda Meggiari and Cécile Adou. They try to change something, try to mix a bit the roster to see if they can do better in that set number 3. It's all about finding the best starting 6 for France for the upcoming games in that pool stage, because we knew before the game that it will be a hard one for France against Italy. But they can probably do better tomorrow against Thailand. It will be important if they want to have an easier round of 16. Of course, finishing third and finishing fourth is a huge difference. Either you will play against a pool winner or a team who finished second, and that's a big difference. So the most important game for France will be tomorrow against Thailand. Sarzia Mare is ready on the line. Adu showed us she's used to serve from 1 to 5. And this one is from 1 to far 6, which means that the serve is too long. That's a second point for Italy in that third set, 2-1. Well, the one-arm reception for Femali Mejer looked to be a good one, but Mejaeri was too far away to get the second ball touch. In front of Aurélie Garcia, difficult to receive that one. Pedretti able to change the target to avoid the blockers. Mejaeri for the set. Jenna Agbo deep into the court, but too deep. You could see the flag got raised by the line judge. And an early gap for Italy, 5-1 in this first set, which leads to the first timeout called by Ione Scala, the French head coach. Well, it's always the balance between serving and reception, and for the moment that balance is clearly on the Italian side. 5-1. Still Pedrelli serving, this time under the net level for the Italian number 4. But that's already, and still a 4-point lead for Italy in set number 3. We'll just see the players for the next game coming into the venue. The men's teams from Iraq and Brazil. Lifting called against Cécile Adu. Well, she wanted so bad to touch the ball that she had to lose control and contact with the floor. The back set from Rigal for Agbo Jean-Prince. Just out. Well, the connection was good. The French players were moving well together. Not enough control on that swing for the French captain. Rigal for the swing. Dig by Belandi. Double touch called against Sarzia Mare. She quite does not agree with the decision, but it's often the case when something got called against you. Bit too long, that reception from Biasi. And a catch called against Aurélie Garcia. Well, the ball was coming fast and she just had to get the reflex. Discussion between Neil Konovalik, the first referee, and Jenna Agbo-Jean-Prince. Don't really know what the discussion was about. Sarziamade with the mistake. Just after that discussion, it's never easy when you have like to wait so long before serving, almost the same as when you come back from a timeout. Anaïs Rigal with her serve. Good reception, Biasi. Belandi for check on, covered by Femali Meje with her foot. Check on. Now Linda Medjari was moving to her right and the ball came to the left. Not easy to have any kind of control when you are moving. Good reception. Well, that's a shame when your teammate is doing such a great effort on the reception to miscommunicate between Garcia and Femali Meje. And this time, too difficult for Anaïs Rigal to have a proper reception. And Rafaela Battaglia will have to wait before the next serve. Second time out call by Johan Escala. 12-4 for Italy. Well, not a lot to add on the Italian side. Things are going as planned, leading to sets and all, and 12-4 in that third one. Less smile on the French side. They are looking to find solutions, looking how to receive better, looking how to communicate better. And for the French staff, it's all about finding the best starting six for the next games they will have to play. Well, I already mentioned it, but tomorrow's game against Thailand, 9:30 in the morning, that's an early call, is maybe the most important one they have to play in that pool stage. Pedrelli with the swing on Medjari. She was really deep into the court. And we will have some substitution coming soon for Italy, with Flavia Barrigelli getting ready, Italian number 8. Also one of the members of Dream Volley Pisa, coming in for Anna Chekon. As well, a lot of experience for her. She was part of the journey of Paris 2024. A catch called against Aurélie Garcia. Difficult reception, but the ball comes back. Lucky one. Barrigelli, her first spike, blocked by France. Garcia for Femali Meger. Belandi for Pedrelli. What a swing. She could avoid the blocker. I find a great spot there between position 1 and 6. And again, the quality of the set from Belandi. And there will be a video challenge called from France. I could just see the board in or out. Or from my position, it looked clearly in. But let's see if the video challenge confirms that one or not. It's also the opportunity for Team France to gather in the middle of the court to discuss further how to find some solutions during that video challenge. But honestly, I would be very surprised to see that ball out on the replay. Waiting for the image to come off the big screen here in the Hangzhou World Para Volley Development Center. Well, the ball is in, touching the line. I was expecting the ball to be more in, but there is no more in or less in. It's in or out, and it's clearly in. The point is for Italy. (16-4). Battaglia. No communication between Medjaheri and Femali Meger to take that ball. Those are the small mistakes, the small details France will have to work on. Communication. This ball comes back. Great fight by Sazia Mare. Adu for the free ball. Biasi takes the set. Oh, what a lucky one from Rigal. Pedrelli with a flying shoe on court. This is Biasi's shoe. That's a fun fact of the game. And France gets that rally. 5-17. Aurélie Garcia. Belandi for Sazia Mare from the back row with the help of the net. We cannot say she's not lucky on that one. She is. But Biasi is struggling. Well, she lost her shoe on the previous one. And now she's struggling to walk out. And substitution for Italy with Alessandra Moggio coming in for Giulia Belandi. Moggio and Belandi played against each other in the final of the European Cups. Moggio, one of the key players of Nola City del Gigli.
Is number 4.
Barigelli. Good serve. The reception of France is not good enough to keep the ball on their side. Femali Meger, one time, two time. And a lifting called against Adu. Well, actually, she had to try something because she was so far away from the ball. More struggles for the French captain on that serve. And before Barigelli's serve, we'll have a substitution for France. Hikutini back in on Femali Meger. That's a combination they did not try previously. Let's see if it works better. Good fight at the net between Moggio and Adu. The point to be played again. 20 for Italy, 5 for France. Well, we have the feeling Italy is getting stronger and stronger throughout the game. Nicotini, free ball Italy. Sarziamari for the set for Moggio. And even with the substitutes player, they find solutions. Where Sarziamari is laughing because her set was quite poor for Moggio. I'm not even sure she was aiming to find Moggio. Maybe Pedrelli. But if it was for Pedrelli, it was a too short one. Agbo-Jean-Prince with the lucky reception. Moggio the back set. She just carried the ball for too long in her hands. And for the moment, Biasi not able to come on court. She has some ice on her ankle. Well, quite unlucky. She lost her shoe on the point, and on the next one, she got injured. Looked like the ankle, her right ankle. The physio is taking care of her. Well, that would be a big loss for Italy to have Biasi injured on that first game. But things carry on court. 23rd point for Italy.
Substitution by Team France. Number 2 out. Number 4 in.
Céciladou coming out. Estelle Galland back on court. That's the VS2 substitution for France. Wow, what a serve. No, is it in? Yes, it is. What a serve by Moggio. What an angle she found to get Italy a first match point. Fight at the net. Point to be played again. Difficult reception. Estelle Galland fights to get the ball in play. Good swing, Rigal. Dessini. The ball is called in. It had a strange trajectory, but it's in. And this is how Italy wins the game. 3-0, 25-12, 25-9, 25-6. They increased the level throughout the game. Almost all of the players could take part in that opening game for Italy. I'm checking on the roster list, but we saw all of the players. Sara Cirelli, the captain, only played the first set and could save some energy in the second and third one. Well, a great display from Italy. Not a surprise to see them winning 3-0 against France. A great start for them in that Pool D of the women's tournament. A short break, something like 1 hour break here, lunch break before the third game on court number 1. We will switch to the men's tournament and the game between Brazil and Iraq. Congrats to Italy, and see you in a few minutes for game number 3 of this day 1 of the Sitting Volleyball World Championships in Hangzhou.